You know that feeling, right? Anyone who's ever taken a break from the gym and then jumped back in knows exactly what I'm talking about. It's that old piece of gym wisdom that says regaining muscle is just way easier than building it from scratch. We call it muscle memory. But is it just the feeling? Or is there something real, something biological going on? Okay, let's get into it.
So, this is the big question. For years, this was all just talk on the gym floor, just an anecdote. But scientists finally put it to the ultimate test to get a real definitive answer. And what they found? Well, it's literally written directly into our DNA.
So, let's just cut to the chase. Is muscle memory the real deal? To find out, we're going to break down this landmark 2018 study that designed the absolute perfect experiment to get to the bottom of it once and for all.
Now, to really solve this mystery, researchers couldn't just guess. They needed to track every little bit of muscle growth, muscle loss, and then that crucial regrowth, all in a super controlled environment. So what they did was create this really clever three-phase experiment.
Okay, so here's the setup. The researchers got a group of guys who hadn't really trained before and put them on this intense 21-week journey. And they broke it down into three very distinct phases: a period of serious training, followed by a period of complete rest, and then back to training again.
Let's really break that down. First up, 7 weeks of what they called loading, and that's exactly what it sounds like. The participants were hitting the weights hard and consistently. Then they hit the brakes for 7 weeks of unloading, a total break from training designed to let the muscles kind of go back to their starting point. And finally, 7 weeks of reloading, where they jumped right back into the exact same workout program. This design was brilliant because it let the scientists measure, well, everything.
So, the big question, what happened? Well, the first clues came from the most obvious place, the actual physical changes in muscle mass. And the results? They were immediate and, honestly, pretty incredible. Okay, now check this out, because this is where it gets really interesting. After that initial 7 weeks of training, the loading phase, the participants saw a pretty solid 6.5% increase in lean leg mass. Not bad, right? But then, look at the reloading phase. After taking 7 weeks off and then coming back, their total gain from their original baseline just shot up to 12.4%.
So the bottom line was crystal clear. The study confirmed it. Muscle memory is absolutely 100% real. But, that just answers the what. The really fascinating part, the part that's a total game changer, is the how. How in the world does the body pull this off? Well, the answer is hidden at the microscopic level.
To find the actual mechanism, the researchers had to zoom way in, past the muscle fibers, past the cells, and look right at the genetic code itself. It turns out our bodies have this incredibly clever way of leaving little notes for the future.
The secret lies in a field called epigenetics, and here's a really great way to think about it. Imagine your DNA is a giant library of cookbooks, and it has every single recipe your body could ever possibly need. Now, epigenetics doesn't rewrite any of those recipes. Nope. Instead, it's like a helpful librarian who comes along and puts bookmarks on the pages you use all the time, which makes them way faster to find the next time you need them.
And these bookmarks, they have a scientific name. It's a process called DNA methylation. But let's just think of them as dimmer switches for your genes. When a gene has fewer of these chemical tags, that's a state called hypomethylation, it's like you're turning that dimmer switch all the way up. The gene becomes way more active and much easier for your body to read and use.
And this, right here, this is where they found the smoking gun. The researchers discovered that the resistance training was physically changing these epigenetic bookmarks on the DNA, creating a real lasting memory of that workout. The numbers they found here are just stunning. I mean, look at this. After the first training period, the scientists found about 9,000 gene sites had been turned up, or hypomethylated. But after the reloading period, that number more than doubled to over 18,000. The body wasn't just remembering the training, it was actively preparing to respond even more powerfully the next time around.
What's really cool is they found the body uses two different memory strategies. Some genes were what we can call prime to go. They got bookmarked during the first training, and that bookmark was kind of removed during the break, but it was like the page was left dog-eared, It was ready for an even bigger response the second time. But then there were other genes that were always on. Their bookmark was put in place, and it just stayed there right through that entire 7-week break.
And you can see exactly how it works on this slide. Look at the graph on the left for those prime-to-go genes. See that dashed line? That's the methylation level. It drops, goes back up during the break, and then it drops even lower the second time. Now look over to the right at the always-on genes. The dashed line drops, and it just stays low. That memory stays active, ready to go.
I mean, the researchers' own conclusion really says it all. They proved for the very first time that our muscles have a genuine epigenetic memory of growth. The hard work you put in literally leaves a mark on your DNA. It's incredible.
So what does all of this mean for you? The next time you step back into the gym after a little time off, it means that every single workout you do is a long-term investment in your body's future potential.
So let's just boil it down to the key takeaways for you. Number 1, muscle memory is not a myth. It's a real biological process that's written in your genetic code. Your body creates these little epigenetic bookmarks that make it so much faster to regain strength and size. And this means your effort in the gym is never ever wasted. It's basically banked for later. In fact, the study even found that a single workout can start creating these amazing, long-lasting changes.
So we're going to end on this thought. We now know for a fact that physical training can leave a lasting positive legacy on our very own genetic instruction manual. It proves that we have this remarkable ability to adapt, to improve, and to build on our past efforts. And it really makes you wonder, right? If this is what we can do for our muscles, what other positive changes are we capable of writing into our own biology?